So I wanted to come on, and I know lots of people had questions about the designing process and cutting the shields and what materials to use. And a lot of those materials are not available. They're sold out on Amazon. Hi, Judy. It is an amazing community, Erin. You are absolutely right. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, Laura. Hi, Bunny. Hello, Belinda, Dieter, Rosa. How are you guys? So I wanted to answer questions, and then I'll show you whatever you want to see. I already did a video Monday to show people how to put the file in Cura, the visor clip file in Cura. So if you didn't see that, you can go back and watch that on Monday. But I wanted to answer any questions you had and show you anything specific if you needed help with that. The clear shield that I was printing. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Nancy Westfall from The Colorful Cookie. I have the Colorful Cookie Club subscription membership, where I teach people how to design and cut culinary cookie stencils, mainly cookie stencils, and design 3D cookie cutters. And so that's who I am, in case you don't know me. And if you're watching this right now and you know there's a cookier who has a 3D printer or a cutting machine, you can share this live with them so that they can see what's happening here. So many people have messaged me and emailed me since I went live on Monday to ask me about this. And I've even had people reach out to me and say, we need shields in our area. Can I pay you? I'll pay the shipping. And I've said, no, absolutely not. I have the materials. I'm happy to do that and send that to you. So I've been busy printing this week and cutting. The materials, that's why the materials, they're running out of them on Amazon, because so many people are ordering them. But I want to show you two different materials. Well, there's three materials here, but talk about the thicknesses and the sizes. Let me see if I can see here. So, is everybody hearing me okay and seeing me okay? Give me a thumbs up or tell me where you're coming in from or something so that I know you're hearing me and I can see your comments. Because I'm not seeing anything happening right now. I know I'm live though. I can see that at the top of my page. I know there are a lot of people in the medical community in need, and cookiers are some of the kindest people that I know. And a lot of them have the equipment to help out, even if it's in some small way, like printing a mask. Thank you, guys. I see those. I think you can hear me good, and you can see me. I think in some small way, we can help, even if it's just a mask that they can use one time or 10 times. I'm not sure, you know, how well they'll hold up to the sterilization process. You cannot get these 3D printed visor clips hot because they're made out of PLA, which is a derivative of corn, and it can actually warp or melt. Massachusetts, ha! Hi, Cecilia. I know I'm blind. What? Oh, live. Yes, you misunderstood me, Belinda. Hi, Krista. Hey, Tennessee. So anyway, cookiers are some of the kindest and giving and caring people that I've ever met. And if we can help, even if it's in this small way with these face shields, that's amazing. And if everybody does their small part, that equals one huge, huge benefit for the world from cookiers. So, hello, Hopeful Kimberly. How are you today? So the product that I was showing you that I cut on my Cricut machine for this shield, and here's what it looks like. What I was cutting for this shield the other day was actually this 12 by 12 clear graphics Duralar, and I was cutting the 7 mil. And I have tons of this stuff because before they came out with the food safe, the translucent kind of you can still see through it, but it's kind of a frosted, it's food safe. And when they came out with that, I stopped using the Duralar, and I have tons of it. So that's what I have been cutting the face shields, this clear, out of. That's because I have a lot of it. And some cookiers that cut their own stencils do have that. It's perfect for these face shields. However, it's 7 mil, and that's hard to cut on a Cameo. It will cut on your Cameo because it's just a basic shape. And so if you can get the 7 mil, you can cut that on your Cameo. It'll cut fine. You just might have to make, 4 passes. And then I realized that I didn't really explain that very well. I'm cutting on the 12 by 12. So the face shield, the original file, is bigger than 8.5 by 11. And some of you only have transparency sheets or binder covers that you're cutting from, and they're 8.5 by 11. So what I did, and I'm going to repost the links for you in the comments, I went through and I redid the SVG, and there's version 1 and version 2 now. Version 1 is made for the 12 by 12 sheets. Version 2 is made for the 8.5 by 11 sheets. And all I did, so even if you have the original SVG or the Cricut Project Link, all you have to do is ungroup the holes from the whole mask, the shield, shape, which is that rectangular shape. Ungroup it in Silhouette Studio or detach it if you're working in Cricut Design Space. Reduce the size of the shield if you have the original file. Reduce the size of the shield a little bit. Put your holes back there. Now, make sure your holes are ungrouped when you resize that shape, because you don't want to resize the holes. They're perfect. So after you've resized that shape, put the holes back, align it, and attach it in Design Space, or group it in Silhouette Studio, and cut, and you'll be good to go. Just don't move the position, or don't move the distance between the holes, is what I'm trying to say. You need to keep those the way they are. Linda's printed one as one test with success, working on requests for fabric masks this week. Oh, great, Linda. So many cookiers are seamstresses, and they sew, including myself. I love to sew. I haven't had time for any sewing, but I've had time for lots of printing. So I love it that cookiers are such crafty, clever people. We just really, we make the best of our talents and help people. And I know so many cookiers who are so talented and so caring. You can't beat a cookier. They're just the best people. So let me talk to you about this material. This material it's got the tissue, which I've been putting, when I've mailed mine, I'm putting the tissue in between the masks after I cut them so they don't get all scratched up. So I'm saving that tissue and using it in shipping. This is let me show you what this is, and I've got the link. It's the transparency film. This is pretty thin. I believe this is 4 mil, which is fine. It works, but it is thinner than the rest. So if you're going to use this stuff, send some extras of these in case it rips, the holes when they're putting it on, in case it rips. It works in a pinch, but it wouldn't be my first choice. My first choice is the Duralar, but you may not be able to get that. And these transparencies work fine. So let me, I'm going to post the link here for you, and I'll see if I can put it in the comments. There's the link for that. And then, and like I said, it's 4 mil, it's transparency sheets. It's, it may not be this one. They may be out of this one, but the one I just posted is just like this. And that's that's an affiliate link of mine for Amazon. And then they're out of the Duralar currently, the 12 by 12 that I showed you. But I found another. Now, this wouldn't be my first choice either, but it works. This is actually 7 mil. It's book report covers, 7 mil. It's fine. It's nice and thick. I like that. But it's not totally clear, transparent, but it'll work. It'll work just fine. And I have that for you right here. Wait, no, that's a different link. Okay, so this is for binder covers. This link I'm going to share with you. Hello, Mona, how are you? This is a company that sells binder covers. They have 5, 7, and 10 mil. I wouldn't go with a 10 mil. I'd go with a 5 or 7. And they're 8.5 by 11 sheets. So I want to share that because I could not find any on Amazon. They're out of what I just showed you. Everybody's ordering this stuff to help do their part, which is good news. So those two things, and then the Durlar that I talked about. Now, I did find a link or 2 links for Durlar in the rolls, which you can use just fine. The Durlar, like I've been cutting, only mine's pre-cut to 12 by 12. You can get rolls of 40 feet by 12 feet, and I'll share that with you. And you can, of course, you know, cut that down. That's the 5 mil. The rolls only come in 5 mil, by the way. They don't come in the 7 mil. Not on Amazon anyway. Command C here. Command C is my shortcut for copy and paste in any program that you're working in, actually. And then, so here is the Durlar 5 mil, 20 feet by 25 feet. So there's a couple of links for you. If you're wanting to order something, that's what I would suggest that you try, because the 12 by 12 is out. So I thought I would just show you how I'm cutting these on my cutting machines. And I'll give you a look here. Let me, so I have both printers running now. I only had one printer up and running the other day. I needed to, I had the STL file from 3DVerkstan, and I don't really know how you say that. 3DVerkstan, it's the website that shared the STL file for this visor. And I had to get my, I had to create G-codes from the STL file. So now I have a G-code for my Monoprice Select Plus, and I have a G-code for my, let me show you my other one here. The other one is over here. That is the Ender 3. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to scoot this over so you can see when I'm using my Cricut machine how I cut these shields, in case anybody's wondering about that. And I'll show you the Cameo as well. So you can see I have loaded on there an 8.5 by 11 sheet of, that's the binder cover. And I'll show you how I cut that. Let me pull Cricut Design Space up here. And I will show you that on my screen so you can see what it is that I'm doing. You can see right here that this is the Project Link, and it is really going to be snug here. See how I have a on this mat, it's bumped up right here against the edge. That means, and I'll show you, but when I put this on my mat, I make sure I scoot it over a little bit, because this is still a pretty tight fit. So I'm going to click continue here. Does everybody know how to get the project and open it in Cricut Design Space? Let me back up. I don't want to assume that you know that. So if you want me to show you from the very beginning, just make a comment there, and I can show you from the very beginning. So what setting I'm using for this, let me make sure. I think this is the report cover. I gotta feel it first. Yeah, okay. So I've been using my setting for the Food Safe Graphics, which is the pressure all the way up to 33 and a fine point blade, by the way. And I think I make 3 passes. So now that that is ready to go, see my C's there blinking at me. I've already got my, well, let's load them out again just to be safe. I want you to see right here, I've put the material over just a little bit. I have to do that in Design Space to make sure everything is lined up correctly sometimes. Not for my regular stencils, but when it's something like this that's so, that fits just within the page. So the C is blinking at me, I'll push the C there. And let's hope that it cuts right within the borders of that book cover. And sometimes I don't even clean my mat off underneath, you know, the dots from the holes. I just leave those there, and once in a while I clean them off, and it's still fine. I need to get a Cameo mat. I can see your comments if you have any questions. Maricela, I will share the SVG. I already did share it, but I'm going to share it with you again. And I'll put it in the comments here. And then I also, do you have a Silhouette Cameo or do you have a Cricut? Because I can just share the Cricut Project Link with you. And Mona, it is just a fine, I just use the fine point blade for everything. That's the only blade I use in my Cricut machine. I don't ever use anything else. I don't need the deep cut blade. I never use it. I tend to, when I use the deep cut blade, I cut right through. Let me see. Let me find that. Which one, Maricela? Is it the, do you use the Cricut or the Cameo? I'm going to post both, but if you want the Cricut Project Link, let me see if I can find that. Hold on just a minute. I want to find the link to share with you before I go grab that. So, oh, you know what? I can't share this with you directly in the comments. I have to share the Google Drive link. Yeah. So I'll have to see if I can find that at the end here. I should have put that in my notes, but I didn't. At the end, I'll share those links with you. How about that? Okay. So let's go take this out. I'm going to push the arrow here. It'll spit it back out at me. And you can see, because I moved, I don't know if you can tell here, because I moved this binder cover this way just a little bit, it cut perfectly. I even have extra room over here, so we're all good. So, oh, another tip I forgot to show you is I knew mine cut, so I don't really have to check mine anymore. But if you're not sure that it cut, if this were still here, like when it first finished cutting, I would pick this up to see if it cut, and if it didn't, before I took it out of the cutting machine, I would actually just hit the C and push it back through again, and it would cut the exact same spot. But mine cut, so I went ahead and just pulled it out. I knew it would. So now I'm going to peel that away, and here's the face shield, nice and sturdy. These binder covers, I mean, even though they are transparent, but they just kind of have this weird, I don't know how to explain it. It's not totally clear, but it's fine and it'll work. But they're nice, and these are nice and sturdy. They're not going to tear. So that's how to cut the 8.5 by 11, and I will share the Cricut project with you and the SVG in the shared Google Drive. And then let's go ahead and cut one on the Cameo down here. I want to make sure you can see that. Let me move this stand just a little. Oh, whoa. Yeah, drop you all the way down there. Hang on. Got my fancy Archon mount here, which I love. And if you want to do tutorials and need an Archon mount, I have a coupon code. They give people who put in my code, the Colorful Cookie, 20% off. If you go to Archon, archon.com. All right, that'll work. Now I'm going to take this. I've got one that's done here. I'm going to take that off. It's done printing, so maybe we'll have some quiet. So now let's pull up Silhouette Studio and let you see what I'm doing there. That's the image I had up before. All right. So I'm going to go to, let's see. File, merge. Let me see if I can find that. Hang on just a second. I should have had this ready, but I didn't. Let's see which one we need. I had several versions here. I'm not sure why I have so many, but we'll just pick one. I don't know. Okay, now this is the one I was cutting on the 12 by 12, and you see it's exactly 8.5 by 11. Can you see that? I think you can. I am going to, and this is what you need to do if you have this original SVG. I'm going to ungroup it by pushing Shift Command G or Shift Control G. And you see how I had the holes separated, they're grouped together, and then they're also grouped to this. Now I'm just going to click, hold down Shift and click the holes to deselect them. Whoops, it deselected everything, didn't it? My computer's slowing down. Hang on. All right. So now look, I just have this part selected. I've got so many wires running in and out of my computer right now and my microphones that it's slowing it down. So I can now, because this shape is not connected to these holes anymore, I can just come right up here, and yours may not look like mine right up here, but if you can't see these measurements, you click on this little toggle right here and you'll be able to change the measurements. But I have a very large computer screen. So we're going to make this 10.5, and let's make the width 8. Okay, and whoops, I'm going to unlock that because I want to leave this at 10.5. There. Now I'm going to click and drag back over these, and up here in the quick access panel, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to align them. This one, if you hover over it, it'll tell you what it is, align the middle. And then with both of them still selected, push Command G or Control G to group them back together. And then I can click, gotta move a bunch of windows out of the way, send. And let's take a look. So I don't want it bumped up right to the, I'm gonna just scoot it over a teeny bit and up this way. I want it right in the corner of these red lines. The cut lines around my mat. Okay, let me get this loaded. We'll go back over here so you can see what I'm doing. And so this is now on my, I don't know if you can see it because this mat is clear, but it's right here up in the corner. I'm going to put it, lining up my edges right here on the line that tells me where to line my mat up. I'll push the arrow there. And I need to make sure, you know what? I have not cut this material. So I'm going to go with my setting for my other Duralar. And we're just going to give that a go and see what happens. And we'll check it. I'll show you this time how to check it before we cut it. I mean, before we remove it from the mat. So that's going to take just a second to cut. So let me come back here and see if you have any questions for me. Hello, Krista. How are you? Let's see. Oh, Maricela has a Cricut. All right. Yes. And I'll share both those files with you. When I get off here, I'll have to find the right ones. I want to make sure I'm sharing the right ones that I revised. As you can see, I had a few files there. Portrait Cameo. I've never had a portrait, Evelyn, but I sure would think that it would cut through this material, yes. If it will engrave and etch and do all that, I would think it would cut through this for sure. But I have a portrait. Let me say that again. I have a portrait. It's right over there sitting on that shelf, but I've had it since like before Christmas, and I have not had time to learn how to use it. I'm sure I could figure it out. It's Silhouette software, but just absolutely no time to even play with it. All right, Liz. Liz just donated 50 to a local hospital. It is very hard to find those sheets, but I'm telling you that I have found a few that I think will work, and I shared some links up there. And that company that sells binder covers, if you sign up right when you go to their website, you get a pop-up that says that you can actually get an email to give you, I think, 15% off of your first purchase. And they're really not expensive. So check out the binder cover website that I shared. It's CFS Binds. How did I find where to take them? You know what, Liz or Maricela? Oh, she's talking to Liz. People contacted me. I asked a few local people where I'm from on the south end of Kansas City, and they because my neighbors work at the hospital, and they said they didn't need any at this time, but I know up north of Kansas City they've been in need. And then I haven't contacted people after I went live the other day. People have been contacting me, which is awesome. I mean, if you know somebody who needs them and you contact me, that's great. I'll do everything I can to help. And then also, I need to go back because in the comments of the live that I did on Monday, Darlene, who's a nurse and she is in the club, she popped on and she said she put an address in there of a hospital that is in desperate need. So I'll go back and I'll share that too. Let's see. Let's go ahead and turn you around here to the machine. Now, all right, so I've not cut this on my Cameo. I've cut it on the Cricut, but I want to make sure it cut, and I want to make sure you can see this. So I have not removed it from the machine. You can do the same thing with your Cricut. I just pull up a corner. Oh, look, it cut. Great. So if this had not cut and the whole piece came up, you know, this part and all, if it didn't cut, all I would do is go back to my software and hit send again. I would not remove it from the machine. And I would hit send again in the software and send it right back through so it would cut in the same place. Now, if you take it out and you realize it didn't cut and you put it back in, it's not going to cut in the same spot. That doesn't work. So let's go ahead and pull this out. And then I know this is kind of a tight squeeze here. I want to make sure you can see it. Let me remove this. Okay. So you can hear, I don't know if you can hear that, but this is the transparency sheet. It's much thinner, but it works. It'll work just fine, and it is totally see-through. So let's go put this together on one of these visor clips. And I'll show you what it looks like and how that works. We'll go back to me again. All right. Oh, are they posting on their Facebook page? Good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you want to check to make sure if you're going to make them and take them that people need them and they'll accept them. I think most places are accepting them, but you'll definitely want to double check. Okay, so Evelyn, you're asking about the mask. If it's under 8.5 by 11, it should work. You're talking about the face shield. Definitely. This is the one I'm going to share with you is going to fit the 8.5 by 11, and there's another one that will fit the 12 by 12, and it will definitely work. Yes. And Liz, good suggestion on the hospitals. Let me show you her comment there. To check their Facebook pages. That's excellent. Never even thought about that. All right, so let's put this together. Kimberly has a package of 7mm Mylar, but don't have a 3D printer. Oh, so she's willing to share her plastic. Thank you, Kimberly. Hello, Jansen. How are you, son? I never call him son, but he said that's my mom, so I'll call him son. Yes, the face shield will fit. Now, I want to show you guys something. This stuff, I don't know if you can see where that's bending. These transparencies are pretty flimsy. They work, but you've got to be careful not to pull too hard. I can't do this while I'm here. Let me push this down. You've got to be careful when you're putting them on. I haven't torn one. I tried a couple others. I didn't tear it, but you just got to be careful when you're poking these things in. You see what I'm doing here? I'm just poking those on. It's really not hard to do when you're not trying to hold it up for somebody to watch. And if they're a little short, all you have to do is make a little snip with the scissors, but this one isn't short. It's fine. All right, so there you go. Now that might save somebody's life. You know what? That's worth printing 1,000 if you can, because this might save somebody from getting something splattered on them, getting, you know, this is so worth it and such little effort on our part. So if you've got a 3D printer, you can print these. I'm going to share the file. It's from 3DVerkstan. And this one is, now this is the thicker stuff. I want you to hear the difference. Okay, so listen to that. Okay, that's the thicker stuff. That's the binder cover. This is the transparency. It's thinner, but it works. They both work. So I will try to find more links to share with you. Hello, Alaska. Alaska's in the house. How are you, Susan? I'll share links with you for materials as I come across them, and keep trying to find what's available to share with you. I already shared 4 different links up in the comments, so if you're watching this on replay, check the comments. And if you know of any cookiers who have 3D printers, or even think, you know, that they can help in some way, please share this with them so that they can see it, and we can all do our part and make a big difference. So, anybody have any questions about anything else? I'll share the file. Yes, Helen, I shared the transparency, the links to the transparency up in the comments, and I can make in fact, I made a post, I think, just before this with links, but I'll do another post, and I need to share what else. Oh, Darlene's message for a hospital that needed them in California. I'll have to write this down, you guys, or I'll forget. And I'll share all the links. You can use acetate. You can use Mylar. It just needs to be transparent. You need to be able to see through it. On the Cameo, my Cameo is cutting the 7 mil. Normally when I make very detailed stencils, my Cameo will not cut the 7 mil because it just can't cut through that heavy material. But because this is just, you know, one large shape, the Cameo is cutting the 7 mil just fine. It may dull your blade faster, but that's okay. Thank you, Susan. Definitely praying for the world at this point. You know, we need some good in this world. So if you can't see the sunshine, be the sunshine. Yeah. You're welcome, Maricela. Okay, so you can use acetate, you can use Mylar, you can use gosh, there's a ton of different polyester. There's a ton of different materials. I'll keep sharing links. I'll also share the 3D file with you. And if you want to know how to use that, I did a live on Monday to show you that process. And I can share that STL file with you too. Now the STL file, you will have to run through your slicer program to create a G-code for your printer. If you don't know how to do that, you can use Cura or a Prusa slicer to do that. 7 mil 4 passes. Okay, good. I think I've made 5, but I could probably reduce that to 4, Dieter. Thank you for that suggestion. Good idea. All right. I'm so glad I can come on here and show you guys how to do this. Share this with any cookie or any person that has 3D printers that you think can benefit from it. Have them grab the files. I did not create the STL file. 3DVerkstan did. Joel Telling actually created this shield. All I did was resize it so that we could use it, and I actually rearranged the holes a little bit because they were a little bit snug. So that was not my file either. I just modified it for you guys so that it would be easy. Okay, open source COVID medical supplies. Let me put that on here. Okay, so Liz, is that a Facebook page? You can post a link to it if you want to, Liz. That way they can actually just click on the link. But if you guys don't see the link, then just search this title right here for the Facebook page. It'll be okay, Aletha. It's on replay. You can go back. And there's also a video on Monday that you can go back and watch that shows you exactly how I made or printed the 3D mask. So that one That one I already took off over there. I'll have to get that one running again. But I wish everybody a good weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. Those are the most important things right now, just to keep this thing from spreading even more. So everybody have a great weekend, and you can always comment here. I'll go back and check those so I can answer your questions, and I'll post links to share with you. So catch you later. Bye.